humans. I am your herald of the God. Now look at me. Yo, welcome back to the Culture God Show. Yes, I changed the title. It's the Culture God Show, man. Welcome back to the Culture God Show with your boy Mike Nix, man. I am your herald, your host, your DJ, the one who was chosen. Yes, man. I'm trying to get my words together, man, because I actually started the camera and then I didn't start the camera, so I thought I was recording and I wasn't recording. So this is take two. Man, I hope everybody's doing good out there, man. Yo, it's that time of year, so people getting sick, the flu is going around, viruses going around. It's crazy, man, because I was watching a podcast and they were saying how you can't get sick from catching a cold. It's a myth. Mona Love said some shit like this on the Joe Budden podcast the other day, bro. I was like, wait, what the fuck is you talking about? When your temperature is low, when your normal body temperature is lower, your immune system is lower. When your immune system is lower, it's easier for germs and bacteria to infect you. And she was like, no, that's a myth. That's not how it works. You get sick from germs and stuff. Yeah, you get sick from germs, but you can also get sick. So basically, when your immune system is low, it's how you get sick. You know what I'm saying? Basically. And what I tell people all the time, no, for real, and then this is not going to be a fitness health channel, you man, you know what I'm saying? Y'all do what you want. Enjoy life. If you want to smoke cigarettes while you're drinking beers and shooting up heroin, you know what I'm saying? And snorting coke while you're eating Little Debbie snack cakes and fried chicken, do your thing, bro. I'm not going to stop you. Just know that if you want to live a more fruitful, healthy life and your skin is clearer and your dick actually works and you can go upstairs without fucking, 5 stairs without fucking dying when you get to the top, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you want to put down a Little Debbie snack cakes in the heroin needles, you know what I'm saying? That might not be the way to go. I hope ain't nobody out there fucking shooting up heroin while they eating Little Debbie. That's crazy. But yeah, man, if you, I've been in the bodybuilding world for 20 plus years, you know what I'm saying? And one thing I can say is that when I'm in the season of pumping my body full of the good stuff, when I'm talking supplementation is on point every day, not missing a day. I'm eating, 75% of my diet is fruits and vegetables. Now, I used to think that, 90% of my diet has to be lean, clean, no fats, this, that, and the third. But I've learned that your body fights against that so hard that the first time or the first week or the first day that you drop in percentage of how clean you're eating, your body just soaks up all that fat and carbs and stuff like that. So keeping a nice little balance is the way to go. But I still don't believe in balance. I believe in slightly going above 50%, eating clean and healthy and drinking plenty of water, man. You know what I'm saying? I keep me some water on deck. But yeah, man, shouts out to everybody that's keeping they getting their bodies healthy and right. Like I said in the last video, do not wait for New Year's resolution season, bro. Do it right now, my guy. Do it right now, homie. Do it right now. Don't wait. You know what I'm saying? Because tomorrow's not promised to anybody. But what I was saying was that when I was pumping my body full of all that stuff is when my immune system was the highest. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to drink protein shakes and shit like me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a psycho. I'm in the gym 6 days out of 8 days. You know what I'm saying? But making sure that you're eating and putting the right things in your body most of the time and having your little snacks every now and then is cool. You know what I'm saying? Everything in moderation. But when the moment I dropped from doing that, let's say I run out of my vitamins or I run out of something and I was oh man, I'll get it at some point. And then, 1 week turns into 2 weeks, turns into 3 weeks. That's when my immune system, starts to take a hit. And that's typically when I've gotten sick. So, and then some of y'all out there are just straight mutants, man. Some of y'all, your bodies need to be studied. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could belong to the Xavier School for Gifted Children or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I know I have some friends who never get sick. And they tell me all the time, like, man, I never get sick. And they right. Meanwhile, when I get sick, bro, like, it's over, man. It's a wrap. It's doomsday, nigga. Like, I'm quarantined for 3 days, like, you know what I'm saying, wearing like walking around in my robe, you know what I'm saying, like Netflix and chilling and sleeping, and yeah, it's bad. So I try to not get sick as much as I can. Wash y'all nasty ass hands too, bro. Like, some of y'all guys are just nasty. Girls too. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Guys are kind of like Neanderthals. We expected to be cavemen, right? Even though it's not accepted. Like wash your goddamn hands. Stay clean. That's the best way. Take care of your body, regardless, man or woman. But when women are nasty, it's a whole nother level of nasty to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, women don't wash their hands and just, you know what I'm saying? Like, so just, y'all, man, just clean it up. Stay clean. Take care of the one body that you got. You know what I'm saying? And everything will be all right. Man, I was looking at speaking of weather, okay, talking about being too cold and too hot, nigga, it just snowed a couple weeks ago. We had like 6 inches of snow or some shit like that, right? Okay, boom. So temperature drops for a couple days. We get the snowfall, you know, cars piling up out there. It's taking you 2 hours to get home, and it normally take you 20 minutes and shit. It was crazy. We all thinking, oh, okay, that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap for fall. Winter's here. It's going to be cold from now. Everybody getting your winter coats out. Boom, boom, boom. Bro, do you know Christmas Day in a couple days, it's going to be 73 degrees outside. Now, for some of y'all, especially y'all that live in the South and on the West Coast and all that, this ain't nothing. Like, man, Christmas is always 75 degrees out here. You know what I'm saying? St. Louis is up and down. You know what I'm saying? Like, St. Louis is more like, what's the saying here is like, if you don't like the weather in St. Louis, just wait an hour or wait 20 minutes or something like that. It's so real, y'all. Like, I remember one year we had a tornado on Christmas Day. Not Christmas Day, but New Year's Day. Like, we had like a snowstorm in December, and then on New Year's Day it was a tornado. Like, shit's crazy. But 73 degrees. And today's the first day of winter. That's how ass backward is that? When it was fall a couple of weeks ago, we had a crazy snowfall, right? We should have had like fall weather. And now that it's officially winter, on the 25th of this month, 73 degrees. Nigga, you can wear shorts and go out crazy. So that's why I say, like, everybody, protect yourself out there, man, to protect others. Take care of your bodies, take care of yourselves, and that's how we take care of each other, man. All right, let's jump into movies, man. Steven Spielberg has released a Disclosure teaser trailer. Man, I can't tell you how excited I am for this. First of all, something y'all don't know about your Herald. I am a huge UFO alien nerd. That's the best way I can explain it. For many reasons, okay? I am not a believer, y'all. It's not just I'm sorry. I am a believer, but it's not a theory to me. For me, it's not a theory. I don't have the luxury to call it a theory, especially, I don't think anybody can call it a theory now that the United States government has had 2 congressional hearings about it since COVID. And we've had people that were on the stand, on the panel, that worked in the military. One guy chased a UFO in his jet. It was a Tic Tac UFO. You'll hear that term a lot. And during COVID, they released videos from, I think it might have been an aircraft carrier or something like that, and of a UFO, or UAP is what they call them now. And yeah, we don't have the luxury to call it a theory anymore. You either believe it or you don't. And I know most people that don't believe it, they don't believe it because it's like, man, you know what? I'm not going to go into a deep dive about why I've come to the conclusion, because it will freak you out if I actually told you. My dad was in the military, and that's all I'm going to say for now. But there are also I'm privy to some knowledge beyond what I went through as a child and stuff that I was told. And the trail of breadcrumbs, it's 2 ways that you create this, the not theory, but the belief. My belief is based on a breadcrumb theory, and then not breadcrumb theory, breadcrumbs of facts and evidence. And then it's like somebody also gave me a bunch of different puzzle pieces at different points in my life. And then I put them all together and it's painted the actual picture. And it's like, oh, that happened then and this is happening now. Those two things are linked. You know what I'm saying? So, but Steven Spielberg is a icon of a director, man. You know, he E.T., you know, one of the first big high grossing alien movies that ever came out. You know what I'm saying? Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Those are two huge alien movies, man. And this trailer gives me Close Encounters of the Third Kind vibes. It's called Disclosure, I want to say. And yeah, man, it's again, as a big UFO nerd, you know, my family is big on that because we knew back then. This is the early 90s we talking. You know what I'm saying? We didn't think, y'all. We knew back then. And again, I'll tell you those stories on another video. It'll freak you the fuck out. But I do understand that there are some people that just still don't believe. They're like, man, where are the facts? Where are the videos? I want the president of the United States to pull up with a UFO on a truck bed with a cloak over it and say, here's the UFO, and pull the fucking blanket off and go, hey, here it is. This is what it is. And they're real. And you know what I'm saying? We're all waiting for that day, y'all. I do think something like that will happen one day. I personally believe it'll happen within the next 4 to 5 years. I do. I think so. This is kind of a slightly off the path tangent I'm about to go on right here. But I do believe this movie, my theory is that this movie is one of the first steps in full disclosure. In other words, you know, the president or Congress or the government coming out and standing on the podium and saying, hey, y'all, straight up, UFOs are real. Aliens are real. There are species from another planet visiting us all the time. We know where they are. We know where they're from. These are the type of crafts they fly around in. They're harmless, or some of them are harmful. We've studied them. They've crashed. We've knocked them out the sky. Like that day is coming, y'all. And I personally believe that this movie, and you know, Hollywood is linked in with the government. You do know that. Some of y'all don't know that. There are movies out there that were made with the, with the blessing of the United States government, with the encouragement of the United States government, and even in some cases with the, permission of the United States government. I'll put it to you like that. Over the course of history, not just recently. We're talking 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 40 years ago. It's happened. Look it up. Steven Spielberg, from what I remember, is one of the people that was privy to some knowledge, which is why he made E.T. And I personally believe, and I'm going to leave it on this, that the idea that any one government feels like they can keep a secret this big from all of humanity. First of all, you're stupid to believe that the vastness of the trillions of stars out there and galaxies, that we are the only living creatures when our planet is a baby in the grand scheme of the beginning of the universe. We're a baby. We're not even an infant, for real. Like, for you to believe that there's no life out there beyond us, you're stupid. Number one. And number two, yeah, for any government to try to feel like they can keep this stuff a secret from humanity is the biggest crime and the most immoral thing and the most irresponsible, scientifically irresponsible thing that anybody can ever do. There is nothing greater than this. You know, one of the biggest mysteries, one of the top 3 questions of all human civilization, are we alone in the universe? And people feel like they can police that and keep it a secret to themselves, or we can't handle the truth and all this. It's bullshit. But that's my little tangent. We'll save it for another video. But I'm excited. That movie comes out next year. As soon as it drops, you know I'll be back here with my thoughts on that movie. All right. I want to jump into, because I'm late to the party with John Cena. John Cena retired. He had his last match December 13th. He had a, what did he call it? The Last Time Is Now tournament, where he had a bunch of wrestlers. You could tell this was all freestyle too, man. So it's supposed to be like a bracket style tournament, like the Final Four. And wrestlers will wrestle each other each week or every couple of days, and then, till the last two would wrestle each other. And the last person that won, or the person that won, would wrestle John Cena. And it was supposed to be, the way they threw it out there was like, okay, this is John Cena passing the torch on to the next generation. You know what I'm saying? I have so many thoughts. First of all, I want to say I didn't understand why people have hated Triple H so much so far. Like, y'all remember, I took a break from WWE for a while. Roman Reigns, almost through his entire run, I took a break because this shit was boring as fuck, y'all. I don't know what y'all loved and saw in Roman Reigns to let him have the title that long, and for y'all to just love him so much. I love heels as much as anyone else. I loved Ric Flair. I loved, man, we can go on and on and on, man. There's a lot of heels out there that I really liked over the years. But I didn't like Roman Reigns at all. He was the most boring wrestler as a heel. He had two moves? Both of them are terrible moves. They're boring and they're not exciting at all. And my brain scrambled thinking about this John Cena last match, y'all. For real, like, how? Let me start before the match. Gunther and LA Knight had a match, right? So it was to see who would face John Cena. LA Knight, I told a buddy of mine the other day, somebody that loves wrestling just like me. I said, hey man, LA Knight, I think he must have fucked somebody's bitch backstage, backstage. Somebody high up. Somebody high up. He had to. He either flirted with him or tried to fuck him or fucked him or something. Because the way they've been doing LA Knight the last 3 years, LA Knight had the highest, what do you call that? Not pop, but the highest engagement. He was over. He was really over. If you're not familiar with wrestling terminology, over means that the fans love you. You get, every time you go out there, you get more praises and cheers and stuff than the person you're fighting. Every time you get a loud pop when your music sounds, like everyone loves you every time you come out. You are over. LA Knight has the look. He has the Attitude Era look. He's one of them. He's probably the only one. He's one of the reasons why I've continued to keep watching since I've come back to the WWE after a couple of years, because after The Rock and Stone Cold and all the greats just left and John Cena was left, I don't give a fuck about John Cena, bro. Like, first of all, you came out with that white boy, fucking, wigger. I can't believe he got away with that shit, bro. The white boy rapper that's just a black stereotype, like, that shit was cringe as fuck, and I'm glad he stopped doing it. You know what I'm saying? That turned me off, number one, from John Cena. And when John Cena went to the whole, military saluting, I'm just, straight edge, I want to do the right thing, good guy, I was like, all right, no, now you're just Superman. And you know what I mean when I say that. Now you're just Superman. The Boy Scout. But right now, LA Knight was so over. Attitude Era, just look, everything. He had the whole package. Pause. The entire Attitude Era package, he has that. He looks like the part. You know what I'm saying? He dresses the part. My man, first of all, I mean, big shout out to LA Knight, man. He come out with what era he's from. He comes out in wrestling Jordans on. Like, my nigga had on 12s the other day. I was like, is this nigga wrestling in 12s? Jordan 12s, like one of my all-time favorite Jordans, probably in top 2 of all time. So many memories, man. But man comes out and wrestles in Jordans, probably specifically made for the wrestling and shit. His outfit's dope. He's got the look. He's got the mic skills. He's probably one of the. He could use some work on it. You know what I'm saying? I wish he would go back there and just work on his timing a little bit better, because sometimes he'll get out there, he'll be talking, he'll be getting going, and then he'll do the Jey Uso thing. Jey Uso, he's terrible on the mic. You know, he get to talking, and then when he can't think of nothing else to say, he'll just go, yeah, you know, and then it's over. It's like, okay, my nigga, you didn't finish what you were saying, bro. Like, you just stopped that way. But LA Knight, you know what I'm saying? He's got everything. His finishers are different. His finishers are unique. I mean, on paper, they look the same. But when you see them, you're like, oh, that's a different way to do an elbow drop. That's a different way to start a finisher. That's a different type of finisher. Like, I love everything about, he's got 2 good finishers. He's got everything you need to be a WWE superstar. And I've been saying for years, I'm happy that the new culture of WWE post Vince McMahon is put down the needle, it seems. I mean, there's a few guys you can tell they definitely, you know what I'm saying, you do. But most of these dudes look like the mailman wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know it's not about being big and buff and everything, but in pause, as a man, I'm not looking at the niggas' muscles and shit and being all turned on and all that. My point is, it's just the whole feel of WWE is different from what it was back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But LA Knight was over for at least 2 years straight, man. He was doing late night talk shows. He was on podcasts. He was making his rounds. I was like, yes, they're going to give him. And I think he had the belt. I think it was the Intercontinental belt, maybe. I can't remember what belt it was. For like maybe a week. And they took it from him. And he hasn't seen that mother. He hasn't sniffed it since. He loses match after match after match. I can't remember the last time I seen LA Knight do the BFT set up the way it's supposed to be set up, and he finishes the match that way. I can't tell you the last time I seen him do it. When like 3 years ago, when he was over, he was doing it every match. Since then, every time he tries to go and do it, they push him off and he hits the ropes, and then somebody else does something else, and then the match is over with. They do their finisher and the match is over. It is insane to me that they have not pushed LA Knight more. So LA Knight has a match with Gunther. Gunther wins. I remember thinking, I think I wrote in the comment section on one of the WWE videos. It was like a Monday Night Raw, Thursday, SmackDown, I can't remember. I said, before Gunther beat him in that match, it was a match LA Knight had before. I said, if LA Knight loses one more match, we ride at dawn. LA Knight loses the match to Gunther, and I remember thinking to myself, okay, so it's going to be Gunther versus John Cena. Gunther has been the most over personality and character in WWE. He's right up there. Cody Rhodes is there. Jey Uso is there. Gunther is kind of far and away on doing his own thing. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, every time I watch a Gunther match, he wins. For the last at least 2 or 3 years, Gunther wins. Gunther wins. Gunther holds the title for a fucking year. Gunther wins. Gunther wins. Every time. I love to hate him as a heel. I love it. I love that they're making us hate him so much, and he's going for that. He's going for the biggest heel ever. I guess he figured, look, they don't love me. They're gonna hate me then. But even then, I see so much love and adoration for Gunther. Like, even the announcers, they talking, oh man, Gunther, I just love calling his matches. He has such an old school style of wrestling. But you don't say that about LA Knight, who has an attitude era of wrestling, which is the greatest era of WWE. Gunther, to me, just being real, I hate his matches. I mean, okay, it's like I love hate him. It's weird. I don't hate Gunther all 100%. Like, I love that he is just an asshole and he's just nasty. How he wrestles is just nasty. It's just nasty. His clotheslines ain't clean. His power bombs are too hard. Like, everything about Gunther is just nasty. You know what I'm saying? He's slow. You know what I'm saying? He's just rough around the edges. Nothing is pretty. You know what I'm saying? He really don't got his special is the sleeper and the power bomb. You know what I'm saying? The power bomb is extra homo. Like everything about Gunther, I just don't like anything about the way he wrestles at all. And that makes for a really dope supervillain. You know, like a Cody Rhodes would go against him in like a WrestleMania or something like that. But I don't like him as a character, as a star character, as a I'm passing the torch on to character. You know what I'm saying? I want to see the praise and all the glory go to LA Knight. He deserves it, man. He's busting his ass. He's just now getting into his prime, and he talked about like, he's a little bit older, getting the success that he's gotten as LA Knight. And he talked about his journey, and basically his journey, I think he's like 43, 44, something like that. And he talked about like, hey man, LeBron is 30 years old, still playing in the NBA. I'm just now hitting my stride at 40. While a lot of these guys are younger, in their 20s and their 30s, and I get that. I think even Gunther is much younger than him. But to see LA Knight's rise and them not capitalize on it, I'm starting to understand why the fans don't like Triple H so much. I thought Triple H taking over was dope because, with Vince being gone, and again, mixed feelings about Vince. Vince might have been a crazy lunatic. There's some funny, hilarious stories about Vince and his and how he operates behind the scenes. I just heard one the other day that was just had me cracking up while I was driving. But he was toxic. But he pushed and created what WWE is. So we have to give that to Vince. Even though he was a fucking piece of shit behind the scenes to a lot of people, especially some women. We cannot forgive him for that. I thought, though, once Triple H stepped in, like, oh man, well, Triple H was part of the Attitude Era, the greatest era of wrestling. He wrestled The Rock, he wrestled Stone Cold, Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho. You know what I'm saying? He was around there in that era. He knows what good wrestling looks like. He knows what the fans look like. He was a wrestler. This is dope. But what I've been hearing, all I've been hearing from people, even people I know that are my friends and stuff like that, is that Triple H is a piece of shit too. Like, as far as like behind the scenes and in the ring. But I'm hearing from the wrestlers, though, whenever I hear them talk about Triple H and everything, like they love him. Like they like things are a lot better behind the scenes and this, that, and third. So there's this duality of what WWE is now, where the fans aren't really being that satisfied, but they're packing seats. All right. It ain't no arena that ain't being filled right now. With WWE is its own unique thing. So they're winning. Maybe that's why he feels like he doesn't have to push LA Knight. I don't know what Triple H's vision is for LA Knight, but it's not working. It's not fucking working. He has everything. When he goes into the ring, now I will give you this. And I don't think that this is based on that. But if it is, maybe I can understand. I've watched some matches with LA Knight where he botched a move. It's always the same move. It's when he goes, he does this with if his opponent is sitting up on the turnbuckles and they're about to do a move or something like that, he'll get up and run up the ropes to do a superplex real quick. He always slips on that second rope. Not always, but it's like, I promise y'all, it's like 50-50. Like every time he does it, I'll be like, oh, like cringe, like, I know he ain't, And, when he does it, I'm like, oh, he got it. So maybe Triple H and the guys watching, because they're watching everything backstage. Maybe they see that botch and go, all right, well, he's not ready to be put over because if he gets into a main event, he's going to fuck up the final move and da-da-da. If that's what it is and that's possible, okay, I give him maybe. But even then, y'all, I've seen Cody Rhodes botch. I've seen Jey Uso botch. I've seen plenty of wrestlers botch movies. The girls botch moves all the time. LA Knight deserves a lot more. Getting back to John Cena and Gunther. John Cena, he's had a glorious, illustrious career, man. You know what I'm saying? He's done a lot for the WWE. He kept WWE on his back when The Rock left, because we all know that Stone Cold and The Rock carried WWE for a long time. Kurt Angle, The Undertaker, Kane, The Big Show, all those guys, man. Oh my God, just thinking about it was like the best era of wrestling ever. You know what I'm saying? And I dipped out when The Rock left. I couldn't do John Cena, but John Cena carried the organization and the company on his back night in, night out. You know what I'm saying? And I give him that. I give him that. Then he took The Rock's lead and went and started to do movies. Came on back. When he came back, you know, he took off the steroids, you know what I'm saying? And he probably had some health issues. And he went on his last year's run, and I've watched every single match of John Cena's for the last year. Way to go, Triple H. Way to go, people at WWE and TKO, getting us all to come back and watch WWE for John Cena's final run, because that was smart. That was really smart. That's how you do a retirement run. If you want ratings and people to fill seats, get some of these Attitude Era wrestlers that said they would no longer wrestle again, give them one last run and say, okay, y'all, look, I'm going to do one run every Monday Night Raw or every SmackDown, and then until this is my last day. And he completed that shit. And for that, I would say, you know, John Cena is definitely Attitude Era. You know what I'm saying? He comes from that stock, or at least he's the post-Attitude Era. He was the beginning of the post-Attitude Era. But he wrestled those guys. He wrestled The Rock and them. And I think that, you know, in spite of me not really loving John Cena, he's not one of my favorite wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the whole, taking the culture and doing the whole white boy rapper, you know, that shit was corny as fuck to me, man. And when I heard, I mean, from what I know, because I watched John Cena wrestle and the whole rapping when he would come out and freestyle, battle rap and shit like that, those were his bars. He really can rap. I love that part of it. You know, so don't get me wrong. If that was him actually putting that shit together, that's him on his theme song. He did all that, wrote all that by himself. I love that. But it was corny as fuck, man. Like you, but beside that, man, John Cena's last match with Gunther, I hated it. I hated that Gunther made him tap out, meaning that he's passing the torch on to Gunther, meaning that WWE is putting Gunther more over. I love it because I hate it so much. And if you know anything about me, I will always put I told you or not, you know anything about me. I told y'all before, when it comes to anything arts, entertainment, y'all, I'm always going to put the art first. If it's true and it's coming from a real place, I'm always going to put the art first. So if the art is making me feel a way, that's the feeling that I'm actually going to hang on to versus whatever other feeling I'm feeling. As much as I don't like Gunther and I hate Gunther with a passion, I understand, I think, why they did that. And I think putting LA Knight in that position maybe would have, because, you know, everyone, you know, went from love, hate John Cena, you know, let's go Cena, Cena sucks. That's been that way for years. But for this last year, it hasn't been let's go Cena, Cena sucks. It's been kind of like let's go Cena for at least the last 6 months. But he was adored by the last match. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was a little sad for me too. You know, I've never seen a retirement like this with a wrestler. I haven't. You know what I'm saying? So to watch a wrestler from my era where I was watching it and shit like that, go on a retirement run and seeing that, knowing that this is his last match and seeing all the things that led up to him, you know, the interviews behind the scenes and stuff like that, and him talking about it, it was sad. It really was, man. So to put him up against an opponent that was already hated, and to make him do something that would even put him more over as a heel, that makes sense. Like, it's like, look, if you're going to hate me, or if we want to make y'all hate this character even more than you already hate him, like, we don't think it's enough that y'all hate Gunther. Let's give him let's tap dance on your last nerve. You know what I'm saying? As my mama used to say, tap dancing on my last nerve. And I think that's why they did it. I hated it. I remember my mouth was like dropped right at the same time they were showing the audience's mouths. Like, they were all on the floor. Like, bruh, everybody's mouth was open. Like, what the fuck just happened? There is no way they let this happen. And even with me giving them that grace, I still hate it. I don't like it at all. I don't like that John Cena went out like that. I don't. You know, I understand it's a business, and I understand you got to get the asses in the seats, and I understand that what cracks me up is y'all they let the fans choose to let Cody finish his bullshit ass story and get The Rock out the way. But that last storyline with The Rock was the greatest storyline that they've had in at least since COVID. Since COVID. That's the best storyline that they've done. I will not say since COVID. I say in the last 3 years or so. That was the best storyline they had because The Rock was involved. And he was a piece of shit. I hated The Rock's character, but I loved that The Rock was involved. And it was genius. It was brutal. It was ugly. It was dark at times. Like, The Rock has become something else, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, salute to John Cena. Salute to all my wrestling fans out there, man. I know there's a lot of y'all out there. Ty, I know you watching. I hated it. I don't like that John went out that way, but hey, that's how it works. John, has moved on, is moving on to movies and things like that. Peacemaker, the last season was good. The last episode was trash. But I know he's going to make appearances in other DC movies here soon. Gunther goes on to be the biggest dick ever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they booing him already. You know what I'm saying? He can't even say shit on the microphone. It's up to that point. And I think that was by design. It was like, I think they're like, look, we're going to fuck being an average heel. We're going to make him a full-blown hated heel because there's no redeeming him. At this point, I mean, there might be. I'm sure there's a storyline out there that he can redeem himself. But Gunther as a heel is just, next level heel. We've never seen anything like this before, And for that, I give WWE their props. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. I got a couple of things before I get up out of here, man. First of all, I want to say rest in peace to Carl Carlton, who passed away recently. He gave us one of the greatest hits of all time. She's a Bad Mama Jamma. If you don't know, he recently passed away. Rest in peace to Carl Carlton. Man, as much as I love that song, I loved the version with Drew Hill and Foxy Brown. Man, that is like my jam, bro. Straight up. And without Carl Carlton, we wouldn't get that song. Okay, so shouts out to his family and thoughts and prayers. There was another rest in peace I was gonna do, and I can't remember who it was. Oh, Peter Green. Rest in peace to Peter Green, bro. Man, all I got to say is if you don't know who Peter Green is, I got 2 movies for you. Pulp Fiction and The Mask. He was the villain in The Mask. Man, he recently passed away, man. Rest in peace to Peter Green. Me and my brothers. I remember when I was a kid, me and my brothers, so in the summertime, I'm the oldest. So, both my folks, they work. And when school was out in the summer, it was just me and my brothers at home alone by ourselves, all summer long. And every day. So, my dad give me the talk, hey, you in charge of your brothers while I'm gone. Don't let nothing happen to them. Make sure they good. If anything happens to them when I get back, that's your ass. But so me and my brothers, man, I would go down there. We had VHS tapes back then. It was no streaming. It was no Netflix. It was no HBO Max. It was none of that shit, man. It was a VCR or a DVD player. And we had The Mask on VHS, man. And me and my brothers watched that movie every single day all summer long. You hear me? It was The Mask. It was The Lion King. We would watch Christmas movies in the summer all summer long. But The Mask, we watched every day, knew every word, sung every song, just laughing to ourselves, cracking up, rewinding scenes and shit, man. But Peter Green was the villain in The Mask, man. I can't remember the last movie I saw with him in it. I know he was in Blue Streak too, but he was the white boy villain in most of your favorite movies. He was that guy. Man, his IMDb is insane. He never stopped working, bro. He never stopped working. He was in so many movies. I can't even name all of them, bro. But I do know that he was in Pulp Fiction, and I know he was in Blue Streak too. He was in The Mask for sure, and that's the one movie I do know him for. But he was a villain in like every other movie he played in. He just had that look. But rest in peace to Peter Green, and thoughts and prayers to him and his family as well. Charlamagne the God, this is in music news for me, just signed a 5-year, $200 million deal with iHeartRadio. God damn. To know that you can make that kind of money just talking shit and speaking your opinion on this thing right here is insane to me. I didn't get into this game because of that at all. You know what I'm saying? You know me, I'm a lover of the arts first. I'm an artist. I'm a creative. I will always put art and all that stuff first. Follow your passion. The money will chase you. That's my motto. Follow your passion. The money will chase you. But the money will follow. Follow your passion and the money will follow. But 5-year, $200 million deal. So that nigga ain't going nowhere. I know he has his own network, you know what I'm saying? And I know he's going to take that and create his network that he has of podcasts and stuff like that and make it bigger than what it already is. And shouts out to all my brothers out there that started out in the podcasting game or the radio world, broadcast. Well, this is all broadcasting, by the way. Whether it's YouTube, whether you're watching me, whether you are listening to me right now, this is all it's under the umbrella of broadcasting. But there's big money in it. And it's ironic in the same week that Ebro, Laura Stiles, and Peter Rosenberg just got fired at the Ops radio station. That's crazy to me. That blew my mind. You know what I'm saying? But shouts out to them because they landed on their feet and they're doing other things now. And then this was, like I said before, being on the radio wasn't their only breadwinner. So, but this is about Charlamagne, man. Charlamagne deserves it all, bro. Charlamagne started out as a dickhead on the radio with Wendy Williams. I personally don't like Wendy Williams at all. You know what I'm saying? I never was a fan of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you before, like I'm not a fan of chatty patty type shit. Shouts out to Mano and Davies, Jim Jones, and Fabulous on the Wrap It Up podcast, man. They was talking about like, yo, they never started the podcast and shit to be chatty patties. That's what I was trying to say, man. Everybody feels like they got to get on here and just talk about everything you see and everybody's business. I told you before, I don't give a fuck who's fucking who. I don't give a damn who Megan Thee Stallion is fucking. I don't care. I'm not going to get on here and tell y'all, oh yeah, Megan Thee Stallion's in a new relationship with such and such. Now, I'll mention it if it's part of a story I'm talking about, but that is not the type of topics and type of shit that I want to cover. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, leave that to academics. Leave that to Joe and them. Leave that to the niggas that like to talk about the salacious shit. Now, again, sometimes if the shit's salacious, you know what I'm saying? I'll give y'all a little taste of that if it makes sense in the story that I'm talking about. But Charlamagne's been on radio for a long time, bro. Decades, man. And they never got him up out of there. You know, in fact, they're giving him $200 million to stay on for 5 more years. And I saw somebody do the math on that. I think Ack was doing the math on that. It's like $3 million a month or something crazy. I don't know, but it's wild. He deserves it all. He's great for the he's a champion of the culture. Yes, I said it here. He's a champion of the culture. So yeah, man. Hopefully your boy one day will be making 200 mil for his podcast. But yeah, man, that's all I got. That's gonna do it. I'll see you on the next video. Like I said, I'm gonna try my damnedest to make this show a more frequent show. I'd like to do wrestling wrap-ups, anime wrap-ups as well. I know I've said this before, and we're coming into the new year, and I do believe that the show is gonna get better as we go. I don't know how I believe it. I know it, and that's a promise. All right. See y'all on the next show. Peace.